it's like leaving behind a pit of brambles. When you are taken onto your mother's lap, it's like a hawk snatching up a little bird. When the fluids from the womb are cleaned off your body, it's like being flayed alive. When the umbilical cord is snipped, it's like your lifeline is being cut. When you are placed into the cradle, it's like being bound and put into a dungeon. If you don't realize the reality of birthlessness, the suffering of birth is fathomless. The sublime dharma that's needed at the time of death, by putting it off, you're wasting your good fortune. It is fitting to apply yourself to practicing the sublime dharma.
Shayjang Soma Shu Send Lantus, Sagi and Give Dungar, Give Dungar Sonrosis, Ona Yonda Shunzampo, Give Dungar Izan, Ranunju Guban, Give Dunga Yeremo, Chambo Jebe, Lubuko, Dembo Kajan, Combanch, Napo Jebe, Jaloka, Ambotama, Majandra, Yanato, Wobonko, Jana Nieji, Nabawon, Korso Chake, Jamsugam, Shiji Jongshin, Nayansham, Rube Thomas, Tunzo, Mabe Jerbo, Jayant, Shixon Holon, Shixo Holon, Zihima. 3年都讲出，东岸一起帮先考，电把嘛年看米，这边做呗和这当，所以前呢，陈做米，西起些呢，忙，那个米从这马桶呢，这边东岸上嘛些，现在他就没这样，我就来就那米，才他可不有人了，特别他就去那来，我那是马老师。
Then next, Rinchen Dorjee asked, please tell us about the suffering of old age. And then Milarepa sang this song of realization in reply. Well then, you honorable benefactors, to explain the suffering of old age, the body's 4 elements degenerate. This suffering of old age brings such despair. Though straight at birth, your body starts to bend. Though you place your foot firmly, you totter and reel. Though it's black at birth, your hair turns white. The clear eye faculty becomes obscured. The head, the main part, gets confused. The ears that heard sounds begin to go deaf. The color in the cheeks fades away. The nose on your face also shrivels up. Those strong, bright bones, the teeth fall out. The king of speech, the tongue gets tied. The depths of killing lies grow many. Though you gathered food and relatives, they all depart. Suffering and worry are abandoned just to return. Though you speak the truth, no one will listen. The children you lovingly raised get angry. You give away all you have amassed without thanks in return. Many curse you for taking too long to die. If you don't realize the reality that is beyond old age, then the suffering of old age is fathomless. If you don't remember the sublime dharma when you get old, your previous karma will fully ripen. Right now, for as long as you breathe, to practice the genuine sublime dharma would be excellent. So.
Oh, this is only in Uncle. 写总被苦，这在新州哪个套头都，但这都是眼光，他发的都是苦给多少了吧？他那位去东啊写中了去设备来，我的中说，我那用到就写讲，那位东啊的一张，老板那些大把，宿舍里了没办了，弄这片看对头话，查上去才能考进去，那张是设计安保的，没得么你讲这多嘛？我是那啥呗，来往去，来上坡去讲看得多，那西瓦地讲没为啥，我出发要讲9月长。 一年没不泰国的，那边东啊的国他们，我在那边他们可以讲，我就来年那啥西瓦嘎，那边同学马头那边东啊的上马去，那啥南坡没些边，多他就去那提，这老些。
And so then Rinchen Dorjee said, we have taken what you said to heart. So with that, he probably means it's because they are already old. And now, please tell us about the suffering of sickness. And then Milarepa sang this song of realization. Well then, benefactors who have revulsion, to explain the suffering of sickness. Sickness suddenly attacks the body, and pain comes unexpectedly. The demons of wind, bile, and phlegm come upon you. When blood and pus start to boil and cause pain, sickness and discomfort cause the senses to collapse. Though you lie in a comfortable bed, you toss and turn a lot. By the power of your previous karma of avarice, though you are given good food, it just comes right back up. Though you stay in a cool place, the fire element makes you hot. Though you wear warm clothes, the water element makes you cold. Though friends and relatives surround you, there is no way they can take your suffering of sickness. Though burn doctors are experts in healing, it's difficult to eliminate the illness of previous karma. If you don't realize the reality beyond sickness, the suffering of sickness is fathomless. Since you don't know when sickness will come your way, for fear of suffering, it's fitting to practice the sublime Dharma. That's one.
谢总现在可那的是，俺其他他就是用大把音频，这边东啊是中嘛学有些人都，他讲其他是他就的系统的进展，这边东啊中老师，我呢用到研究间，这边东啊的技能不，两件去话权威，人家这不碰见新版的，出国那儿路上面，把我那个介绍面，上面就提介绍面，这边路就多少，碰面学啊介绍面，原边牛头介绍面，达马法州介绍面，伊朗在那么他那的。偏执是不难办的，安保于呢，他们这对偏执认为毛背或脚不认为毛把抽毛毛抽，严重的区别他从也大堂咱们这么就，我就话我经常就话马起呢，有了些吃马吃，出门他咱们他呢，来来呢来来沙滩干嘛的，来来农儿工作不，来来沙滩拿来过，然后烧呗，现在就，现在吧忙呀，基本着，朝上不有讲就着的。这边路坡上的碰波江头，叫那种没事去就通头吧，里边先生扩大些，这手办都看才把件，我就把这边南边的，咱们那去看呢，哪来偏把都，是那就是这件，前边年间他过的，偏把给这种上面，他们进去台湾通常这种这样这些，这些推荐熊人，他们他就马拉呗，看给这样呢，看给偏把有嘛，这对那就咱们这个们才咱们做，是他怎么讲讲？
And then Rinchen Dorjee said, when I die, I will see if I will be able to practice Dharma. Now teach me the suffering at that time. Then Milarepa sang this song in reply. Well then, benefactors with renunciation, the suffering of death is so fearsome. When that single time of death arrives, and the death Lord's messenger comes to take you, he is not deceived by wealth and riches. And there is no place a hero can fight with his sword. He is not deceived by the learned and wise, and scholars can't use their stories on him. It's no use for the poor to beg and plead. Evil ones can't use deception at all. Fox-like cowards have no place to run. The branch nadis withdraw inward from the extremities, like being pressed between two mountains. The objects of the sense faculties all withdraw. Healers who have hopes of helping are left behind. The bimbos of divination who hope to protect run away. The deities and protectors above, for whom you do recitation and practice, will give no reply to your signs and words. Though the movement of breath hasn't yet ceased, still the body starts to reek of death. The last spark of heat is drawn within. Then some look at the astrology of stars and planets, and some cry out from their suffering. Some contemplate their food and wealth, how others will use all that they have amassed. Though there are many who love you, you will go alone. Though you have good friends, they will be sickened to look at you. Your precious body will be folded into thirds. They will take your body far away, then flee. Whether burned with fire, thrown in the water, or thrown in a pit, when you are no more, this is sure to happen. Can you bear all of this, you faithful ones? On the morning that your breath comes to a halt, no amount of worldly wealth will be of help to you at all. So what is it that those with avarice think? Though loved ones gather all around you, they have no way to help for even a moment. When you see that you will be parted from them, alas, what can your loved ones do for you? When such a time arrives, anything that isn't connected with the genuine Dharma won't be of any benefit at all. At the time of death, you should have no regrets. Don't have any fear at the time of death. So.
Jitsu Yapse Dada Mayo Yang Xiaxie Jijiang Xiuguo Sen Nanji Xua Pube Xia Dun Xiuba La Wana Nyana Mamambo Xie Tsatsa Deba Yoba Tse Chongwe Lixen Bom Jitsu Yapse La Demo La Chongnam Ni Mendro Wona Tsering Demo La Chongnam Se Jitsu Kindro Man Zongdo Wona Tsering Getsa Dawe Rangri Chokang La Choba Pu Satsa Gan Da Brochi Sempian Tongdo Be Dak Hu Chung Tang Rilo La Sengro Du Chiam Tang No Chen Nam Kiren zero lo se mo jengo samo show ne son jitu yapse tukdam la chamne mo chibe ki jeyang mandro rilo madro rilo ki chen so phchung mo be gang la lep de lep chung de jeyang manzi ban do mo na re xian la manzi ro chupa tukje chen bo go be ho tang rilo mo do zam thang gelen da ba chongro 정도 미 라삼은 집에 렌트 지신 거는 좀 스타트 맞아. 또想나요?
And so then Rinchen Dorjee, having entered the gateway of Dharma, received the guiding explanations and meditated on them, so that at the time of death he took hold of the path. At that point, Lexibum said, although the Jetsun and his disciples will not remain here permanently, please, you must stay for at least a few nights. Because she fervently made this request to him, Milarepa and his disciples stayed for 7 days. During that period, there was a gathering of all the people of Nyanang to make tatas. After that, Lexibum asked, would the Jetsun and his disciples like to go for some entertainment? I will not go, Milarepa replied. Very well. Since today is a meritorious day, please help me make offerings in my shrine room and make tatas. Since it is for the sake of sentient beings, I ask you to please also look after my child and the goats and sheep. Also, help me by cleaning the house and the dishes. With that, she put on fine clothes and jewelry and then went off. The Jetsun and disciples were immersed deep in their practice, so they did not help with anything that the lady had asked of them. The sheep went out into the fields to eat the crops, and when she returned home, her baby was crying. Seeing that they had done nothing at all, she said to the Jetsun, it's fine that you didn't do the other things I asked of you, but being a Dharma practitioner requires that one has great compassion. A bit of trouble for my baby, the goats and sheep is virtuous activity. It couldn't possibly be a fault. And then the Jetsun sang this song of realization.
Chokanta, Ose Gomje, Gomje was in Manmepu, Reka Dome, Zobe, Lomajo, Reka Dome, Lexen Bomje, Juma Lujian, Condu de Shata, Pacha Chadar Chiban, Combe Chadar in Mako, Combe Chadar, Lexen Bomje, Naso Zebe, Yolana, Jumeza Jan Chijin, put them to Lomajo, Jibe Truhe, Lexen Bomjes, then worth Zo Dakum Yamnati, did you see Lekati Chiachon Masons?
So summarize the song, Milarepa said he was not able to fulfill all these duties because he was meditating, and he said that these are all things for Lexibum to do. So then she said, don't look down on us worldly people, and So besides you have served other lamas, so she's saying, I will find another lama.
Tene lanchu nyingje mibat tirang sharu choban daljan ni pong yare simchi mibe chuchu lombo go korwan dobe barba yare choshi jianje jimbat kanya domo remonda rekamama yare singsa mibe buwa de tambe norcho timba na chuji chorba yare che nyingje mibe jintong de kawa tingma chaba rana tiba yare che ranju mathu tawa the go be sam jiba juzin sheso yare ni thama from gomba de zume surkang phoba Yolo chiba yare, tender macho jobat, nyombe sachun tongwanda, dosin perba yare, chuji drebe tamse, mesang tarke tombanda, nantaruwa yare, rando mapan dribut, zara mezo jebanda, sobanda, dianji jeba yare cha, starting gordo yana.
So then Milarepa sang this song in reply. Resident lamas without any compassion are like revering a teorang deity. How frightful is the ruin of self and other. The dharmic activity devoid of good intention is like a fool caught in the web of deception. How frightful is the burning of desire. The generosity of those with bias is like having to pay back a banquet feast. How frightful are the many offenses of not fulfilling hopes. Making offerings to inappropriate objects is like entrusting your wealth to a charlatan. How frightful is such a basis for delusion. Giving without compassion is like tying yourself to a whipping post. How frightful to bind yourself up so. To have a high view without taming your mind stream is just like boasting and speaking with doubts. How frightful to disregard cause and effect. The meditator who doesn't get to the vital point is like a liar who puts the roof on his house of deceit. How frightful to think he's doing something of meaning. Conduct in which Demdel does not arise is like a crazy man who drinks salt water. How frightful is the increase of desire and craving. Samaya that involves the 8 worldly concerns is like wrapping filth in silk. How frightful to be rotten from within. The fruition where one's desires have not been abandoned is like a human figure made of clay. How frightful it is to disintegrate under adverse conditions.
000Songs the Monjoba Jede, Janji Sam, Yachashi, Chatham, Tea, Jisu Kilixen Bomb, Dorjee going to Songs, Slandotham Haloshana.
So then Lexibum developed regret and offered the best piece of turquoise from her jewelry as a gift to Milarepa, and then asked him to take her with him. Then the Jetsun sang this song of realization called the Vajra verse to Lexibum.
Yonta Chumo Lexibum, number Jave required. Ranking Chuji Ranki Sordola, Jindo may be a gomshin, ranking Hala Sordo, Madu may be a gomshi, Ranki Semla Sordo, Namto may be a gomshi, Lunga is from Yangwala, Gomji may be a gomshi, cheese, that's a malosh.
Listen now, wealthy Lexibum, who has such clear, bright intelligence. When you turn in and look at your body, do meditation that's free of desire for comfort. When you look in and look at your speech, do meditation that's free of expression. When you turn in and look at your mind, do meditation that's free of concepts. Without distraction in body, speech, and mind, do meditation that's free of meditating. So.
Lama la yena dumbe de pulos, ngonsa reje nazaje, teba maybe kingsemje, yanga maybe shedo, chapa maybe loadingje, turgu repe, shablan, rechen chila, chobab, turgu repa rela depaya, lama chila, jena, chujin kolo, gorsuzo, nangamanda, shosu, gebandove, tonsumo, ranki lula, sordena, jendo maybe gomchino, tarun jendo yonshin, ranking ala sorde, mado maybe gomchino, tarun maju yonshindo, ranki semna sorde, namto maybe gomchi. Tarun namto yonshin, Lunga Yison, Mayang Bas, Gomji may be Gomchi, Tarun Gomji Yonshindo, Dama Kixi, Hondon Shu, started more Shanayan.
And then, so she meditated and experiences arose for her, and then she offered the 7 branches to the Guru. Wondrous Lord, clad with the cotton cloth, You with pride free of reference point, who, free of any worry of fear, have confidence that's completely free of attachment. To the Rebbe with yogic discipline, at your feet I bow. Great Rebbe, I make offerings to you. To the Rebbe with yogic discipline, I confess my negativities. Guru, I rejoice in you. I supplicate you to turn the wheel of Dharma. I supplicate that you not pass into nirvana. I dedicate this virtue for the sake of all beings. When I turn in and look at my body, though I do meditation free of desire for comfort, still my desire for comfort continues to come. When I turn in and look at my speech, though I do meditation free of the desire to speak, still my desire to speak continues to come. When I turn in and look at my mind, though I do non-conceptual meditation, still concepts continue to come. Though with undistracted body, speech, and mind, I do meditation that's free of meditating, still meditation continues to come. Please give key instructions for clearing hindrances and enhancement.
Tene tachi shubelan to jisu kiksi wondong gon de zonsos. Yang jisu kiksi wondong gon zondo. Nyongda chimo lexembo. Luke jindo ndo bana. Lube nian tang zongje zobe no nam jimba tong. Chagyan mi be ngala to ngala mando do ban. Jiksen chuji jab so. Ngaja rang tong long la go. Ngaja mi be ngang to samla nam to chongwan. Nasem chembe jaksu so. Hunde ni su menziba. Nyamni ngala nyamba ni je ngala to kangsha jemi nyamsro tarong gumjun dobanas wata tarong gumjun dobanas sanjan namna ningje gomse da chakse nga den rong rong wer ne ma jisumele repek tarong gumjun dobanas sanjan namna ningje gomse du de cham ningje so omya ta sanjan namna ningje gomse ranglu tugje chembo gomse te yedam gomya chi jebor zabe lama gomse wata jebor lama gomya chi tombani la yuren zin se wata chaza chembo chi wa je la ngo ba jaye tops What did you know about it? Say, Coverachilla, Tachun, those, what are the Maton Hana?
Then in reply, the Jetsun sang this song of realization on clearing hindrances and enhancing the practice. Listen now, Lexabum. For your body, when you have desire for comfort, separate yourself from your relatives and friends and give away all the wealth you have amassed. Remain in the state that's free of attachment. For speech, when you desire to say something, leave the 8 worldly concerns behind. Give your pride and self-importance to the wind. Remain in the state that is free of pride. For mind, when concepts are present, take hold of your mind with the hook of mindfulness, not fixating on samsara and nirvana as two. Remain in the state of equality. Sustain the state free of following after things that arise. And so what follows then next is actually the 5-fold path of Mahamudra. So if there still is some kind of meditation, then number 1, meditate with compassion upon sentient beings. That's bodhicitta. Meditate on your body as the great compassionate one. That's the practice of the Yidam deity. Meditate with the guru at the crown of your head. That's guru yoga. Extend the meditation on emptiness. That is Mahamudra. And then afterward, seal it with dedication. So that's dedication. Understand this and practice the sublime Dharma.
Tene je zong smoja jisu ka hinyam sunane lamna simbe ne jor ma chorto se te yidur moda lexem bom je goro sada malosh.
And thus he sang, she practiced as the Jetsun had said and became a yogini who took hold of the path. This is the cycle of Shen Dormo and Lexabum.
Danchiru tiksa me gors danchiru tiksa sentenzare. Tapejan kama ningba je yun tikba sa ngro. Waten tikba mazaletas ya ko sogo. Waten azo ta meta chiwa yore sheshe kar. Waten ngenjung nomota chigo shosarwa. Namna chigo shosara so.
And then next is the song on preparing to have joy at death. And so the literally it says something like to not kind of kind of collapse at the time of death. For example, if you have like an old house, even if it's old, if you have a good foundation, it won't just collapse. So even though we understand that life is impermanent, we still need to cultivate renunciations. So this is what this song is about.
Namon Gurus, Jesu Milarepa, Yana Chopo, La Shodores, Yana Chopa Posita Show. Do you then Chopa Posiria, the Jetan Log, Choba don't the Yosara Dopa, Charge Sotanda, the Log Choba don't they? Then you all Chapo Yosate, Yana Chopos. What I showed did you then took a rechung in Jixian Chujik, Nama Junzi, Dobe Bonson, Sheda Yang, Naja, Rechung Tola. Payu Bone, Chuji, John Mango, Bache, Yam Jisula, Payu Bome, Chuji, Chendroba, said the Alas, and the Rechungi, Jisukan, the Jiki, the Mepen, Tare, Jung Mepen, Zone, one of those. What a natural who did Jisumala Rebecca. Rechung and Jitan Chuji, the Bango, the Mambo Zone, Rechung, Payu Bon, Sudden Jitan Chuji, John Mango, the new lab, the Demba Reves, Lauris. And so
this was when Milarepa was staying at the Nyanang Belly Cave, and so the Nyanang Belly Cave gets its name because it's the shape of a sheep's belly, so a sheep's belly. That's why it's called the Belly Cave. And so here, the 8 worldly concerns were manifesting for Rejungpa, and Milarepa actually advised him again and again to abandon those 8 worldly concerns. But then Rejungpa thought that if I relinquish my own homeland, and I believe I'm untainted by the 8 worldly concerns. So he believes he's untainted by the 8 worldly concerns. But then the Jitsin says to relinquish one's homeland is only practicing Dharma halfway. Can this really be so? And then the Jitsin said, this is what is said in the general Dharma language. However, that in itself is not enough. And then he sang this song of realization.
Raise the Pongo, Jixo de Champoran, the Jonji Mango Lamat, Yonang Soja Rabjan, Tabe Gelato, Payu Bombe, Mayut, Tesum Lotan, Sun Lotan, Tesum Lotan. Sukingo, Chana Yamba, Chenaga, Watson, the young Jixian Chuji lip, Segurte Bombe comes it, Chena Zoda, Solo Sukingo, the young Shamlan Donaga, Watson Jixian Chuji, Kore Chopombe, Navet, Simple Lotan Sukingo, the young Tronjam Yanaga, Watson Jixian Chuji lip, Kachan Bombe, support to Tixa Lotan Sukingo, the young Zena Romnaga. Watson Jixian Chuji, Xinjiang Bombe, Xinjiang, Sonam Lotan, Sukin, Lozan, Sala, Managan, Watson Jixian Chuji, Kurbe Chuni, Shijit, Tanan Ozon, Miba, Tonanyang and Deba, Tamji Dombe, Chuni, Nanjo Dapa Mazijis, Otan Dor doing Jixian Chuji, could be chandas, that long Chapa near Chimbochung, Gagaris, what the end of Jixian Chuji, they lapses, what a round or Devo on the Gagaris, or ten Jixian Chuji. Bang so left is to law Yabo, Sama Yabo, Desa Yabo, so on Sama, Gagaris, these are magic central left is on go.
Other than to summarize this song, so Milarepa said that so you want to experience happiness or praise and fame and so forth. At that point, if you prefer this, you've already arrived at the 8 worldly concerns. Or you want to eat food. You want to wear clothes. You prefer soft and warm clothes. You prefer a full belly. When these thoughts arrive, then you have already arrived at the 8 worldly concerns.
Oh, the Songs, the song at Tablan then, and do you want it then, but Chabla sounds that a chung passion or Jitu. Song at Tablan listen, do you then and Rigreves? Do Jituke, Jitukianes, do you to be trust and do not then barons, Druban do you trust and Jonah Majorum, Jonah Merongo, and so catching on one. Or the image of the Zanga Tablan, then do you Lamchi or the Gravang. In nothing, do you want to be trust, do you then Druban do you trust or something? Then you marry on the not what I'm married to you only Chuji Bon, Doyon Yengo Zamla, then drop he, zombie, drop a Yuntan Juzi, Jula Jebain, Chuji Bona, Droba Lonyo to Maya. What a Droba Lonyo said, choose drop your Karekali drop your exam to Mayas. Drop he is only going to some source.
So then Rinpoche asked, so since my practice in secret mantras path of means has become stable, is it okay to rely upon just a few sensory pleasures? So basically he's asking, so since you have Vajrayana practitioners, can I partake of sense pleasures? And then Milarepa replied, it is okay to use sense pleasures to support your practice, but it's not okay to use your practice to support sensory pleasures. So that's really an important point. It is really only when it comes to the assistance or aid of our practice, then if it actually enhances our practice, in other words, and then it is okay to rely on sense pleasures. But if it's the other way around, and if it's not really used in order to really enhance one's practice, then it is not okay. And so then he said, when I came from Marpa's side, I had abandoned the 8 worldly concerns. He told me that I should practice in reliance on a few sensory pleasures. I practiced accordingly, and because of that, some good qualities arose in my mind stream. You too should abandon the 8 concerns, and without thinking that you have any leisure for practicing, practice now.
Tezong Longor Jelame Namtar Semja, the Song Hira Maji, Jimmy Yam Chulong Yushana, Garwachis, Churanju Lazina, Bomnecom, Sendela Chana, Chimado, Chejila Gana, Archuche, Chulong Yushana, Nembai, Ranchiven Jane, Bomnecom, and Lady Pagina, Genrodom, Samuel Sona Ranila, Samyajena, Sonamsi, and again Lenami Jona, Bonaco, Hosambo Chondo, Namatu, Seshimbo Santo, the children, Damnebo. Dona Hakadon, no Chuji Bona, Gomlano, Chupo Yondo, Datanti, Kormambo Dona, Lonjuche, so Songo Zondo, Lotama, no Chutan Don, Bomlagon, Gomno Semna, Dopar, Magon Kahi, Chambai, Urimbo Gomlon Machivi, Yimi Zona Zombarsi, no Chutan Dena, Kariandi, Rantipo Dibe, Jijanta, Gomseton, Zamtan Rembochi, Vajung Semla, neighborhood. Yaman Teton Handa, in Gorse.
I'm sorry, something wrong with my yeah, not the wait a minute. Sorry, my computer is acting up. Okay. So this is the song. The Lord Guru's life story is impressed upon my mind, and I never forget his advice that was like Amrita. If you think you have leisure to put off the Dharma, you will miss your chance. Mix Dharma with your mind stream and apply yourself in meditation. If you're attached to this life, the next life will be difficult. To delight in temporary pleasure is a great hindrance. If you think you have leisure to put off the Dharma, that is foolish. If you fear your death, apply yourself in meditation. If you engage in negative action, you will fall to the lower realms. If you are deceitful or conniving, you will just lose yourself. If you develop malicious intentions, you will exhaust your merit. If you want to purify your karmic results, apply yourself in meditation. If you wish to wear nice clothes, your outlook is confused. If you wish to eat good food, you will strive in negative conduct. If you long for pleasing words, you will be wrecked by fame. Abandon the 8 concerns and apply yourself in meditation. If you wish for a rich patron, you will encounter enemies. If you wish to be surrounded by many retinues, you will have great regret. If you want to amass many things, you will have many wrong views. Make your mind harmonious with the Dharma and apply yourself in meditation. If you can meditate, then realization will dawn in your mind. If you cannot, then you will just have empty speech and lies. Since you don't have much time left to meditate, exert yourself in meditation without distraction. If you mix your mind with Dharma, everything, after everywhere, you will have bliss. Remaining alone is also excellent. My son Rejungpa, let your mind abide in the precious samadhi of clarity, emptiness, meditation.
Though the Momba Gepo Lakwa Shava Shang, Low Nako Chembo, she con la dam Masova Zam Jumana, Low Shon again, Gangan Chembo, Don, Darley, Nana Jitu, Yapsela, Jam sort Chumwake, Low Tse Tuchi Lavada, Jitu Jencha, seeking, Lola Povanzin, and Nampia Chanjo Gone, Inge Mazobe Gang and Gordon so stop. That is on no.
And so then Milarepa thought Rejungpa has only lessened his involvement with the eight worldly concerns somewhat, but his hidden faults have not been fully revealed. I must do this by inciting him to revulsion. So Milarepa thinks that Rejungpa is still a little tainted by the eight concerns. I need to inspire him to develop renunciation. And so then when they came upon Yanang, there were many butchers. So they came sort of in a marketplace, like a meat market. And the masters and his disciple Rejungpa went begging for alms. There were stacks of flesh, piles of animal heads, flayed skins displayed, and pools of blood collecting all around. Many sentient beings were tethered, waiting to be slaughtered there. And in the center of them was an old man from Mun with a crippled arm. A large black sheep managed to escape the man's grasp. And as it ran, the sheep's intestines were pulled through a small tear in its flesh. Terrified, the sheep let out loud screams, limping and hobbling over to the Jetsun and his son for protection. As the sheep's life came to its end, the Jetsun wept with many tears and performed transference for the sheep, placing its consciousness on the Bodhisattva path. Then he sang this song of realization with unbearable great compassion.
Yaman Kurve Simtianams, Tarve Lamla Yardos, Azama Dikan Eri, Lere Monshin, Luji, Lomala, Shere Panshi, Simtian Zolola, Jure Chirango Golola, Jure Champama Chelola, Jedar Chejang, Diksha Zilola, Gigi Jere Chake, Malola, Jezam Dota, Shaye Salola, Kana Zanja, Nawan Chulola, Daily Che Ninja Melola, Jejang Mombe, Driblola, Jerechi, Dikwe Sonam, Suyan Jondo Donat, Anke Chetu, Loke Chambayan, Jure Chajova, Jelola, Kanchi, Gigi came Dikshan Trilola, Chimagije, Medem, Menderantona, Ingaranjik, Diku Chanhim, Nawantu, Reshun Hachu. Idean China Joshi, Nilonchi, Gona Retu, Nesutu, Samna Lame Gadis, Rona Dixian Zalid, Dona Dixian Chuji, Tonzina, Rubi Tamchasong, Shira Messi, Chul Jors, or that Chitan Tondan, that is on some gentle resource to Ninja Jason those, or then Medixians of Chilashi, those Medicatians of Chilachimbo, or Sechima Median, the song holding our share those. Or then the down project, the Chonhachu change it as Mangaton draw was the Chen Joshi to J. Then the two land draw. Or the chance are patron the two land draw. Then I make a detail of some. Then you can't the Chavato Done or the part on it, Juba Yabon Zia, Tamja Singoris, then she and Messias Choji or the song what and you don't have this.
So then in that song, then Milarepa speaks about the negativity of killing sentient beings. And he says they are so confused thinking anything when one is hungry. What can be done with such cultivation of negativity? They give torment however they please. So we better seclude ourselves and go into the mountain retreats. If you go to the mountain, if you meditate, go to the mountain retreats. Remember the Guru's kindness. And if you escape from something, escape from the root of non-virtue. If you let go of something, let go of mundane deeds. If you keep something, keep your promise to practice. If you understand, then bring your life to the Dharma.
我写从现在从教学当研究查获见的见下马波西斯拉马拉大家拉美干系，秋季这些错把帮呢，我把拉帮了你，明白是看着些了，从学别练过的种说是在马罗上。
Then a disillusionment and renunciation arose deep within Rinchen, and he wept with many tears. Lama, now I will do as the Guru says, and will abandon the 8 concerns and the provisions of food obtained through negativity. I will meditate. To which isolated mountains will we, master and student, go and meditate? Then in reply, the Jetsun sang this song of realization.
他宁波呢，一忙乱着送一嘛，这一忙可谓生钱呢，是另外这边没拿的，南方个嘛那个，三天那边去年去，因为没吃几人，没得钱呢，去话用年米，你让你来去热穷来去看了也，可谓就呢，ram长人，同样吃饭做不来个，不是可去穷之类去，也几万少人，得钱没得钱呢，去话用年米，让你热穷来去看了，中间是不帮人，牛毛把起来着。 定自己大做来钱，养大他了，出来了，没得钱呢，去把用两米，让你这穷来去看了，有嘛流进康润，下他3面7万块，老汤那边特快动，有没康润就来钱，其中特啥起来了，没得钱呢，去把用两米，让你这穷来去看了，可别讲出等的啥，这块去穷接来钱，那除非把了钱来钱，没得钱呢，你米人头出来了，没得钱呢，去把用两米，让你这穷来去看了。 这家那场样板的，现在他们啥等于是研究南部境内，他对公司业的，没得钱了去把用两米，让你这穷来去看了，听面打我们养啥去，老面一盘切鸡嘛，这种养了从那去，没得钱了去把用两米，让你这穷来去看了也是，我咋听过同学。
So this is the song of realization, and Drupon actually said this is a song he has memorized. So it says, Emma, sentient beings of samsara are in darkness, obscured by negative karma. The thief of conceptuality creates much agitation. The jewel of meditation will likely be lost. It's time to set the watchman of non-distraction. Men with negativity never think that death will come. Rinchen and I will go to Lakshmi Snow Mountain. The continuum of samsara is a long, treacherous path. The bandits of the 5 poisons agitate and churn. They will likely seize the child of awareness. It's time to seek out the guide of primordial wisdom. Men with negativity never think that death will come. Rinchen and I will go to Lakshmi Snow Mountain. The mountain of faults is very high. The afflictions are like the hunter and his dog. It's likely they will kill the deer of samadhi. It's time to flee to the ultimate true nature. Men with negativity never think that death will come. Rinchen and I will go to Lakshmi Snow Mountain. In the worn-down house of the illusory body, days and hours fall like rain. The drops of the years and months beat down. The worn house of the illusory body will soon collapse. It's time to make preparations to have joy at death. Men with negativity never think that death will come. Rinchen and I will go to Lakshmi Snow Mountain. The ocean of samsara is very deep. It's time to swim with the child of awareness. It's likely you will be distracted by the waves of confusion. It's time to escape to the land of non-duality. Men with negativity never think that death will come. Rajungpa and I will go to Lapchi Snow Mountain. The swamp of lust is truly vast, and the thick mud of home life is very deep. It's like the elephant of renunciation will get stuck within. It's likely the elephant of renunciation will get stuck within. It's time to pursue a place for the meditation of liberation. Men with negativity never think that death will come. Rajungpa and I will go to Lapchi Snow Mountain. The view and meditation of the lower vehicle is a steep precipice. The immature with inferior minds have many deeds. It's likely they will fall off the cliff of the 6 ramps. Men with negativity never think that death will come. Rajungpa and I will go to Lapchi Snow Mountain. So.
전에 본업니 되는 계속에 본업니 총백에 총두체 매패체바 라마미베 세바지 지수 옆세년 코상 소바 요지 망보 부양 득제상 직선 추지 토도 존에 마제바 라치 칸라 총노 제다 특사메 고스 보다 총두체라 뭐 요래 참마제 지수고 옆세년 세바지 tembuwa mo fuosa that's what my goes 득제다 직선 추지도 세시요 말세 온랍치 칸 파페르스.
So then after that, the people at the market gave rise to faith and made many offerings to them. But Milarepa and Rajungpa said that it was just food producing negativity and the 8 worldly concerns. They did not accept the provisions and went to the Lapchi Snow Mountain.
Today, chapter 13, 000Songs, Chomba Changlu Gors, that 000 Sena Yaze, 000 Cham Royano, Rote, Changlu. Chang le tent Tong is using Chang Tong or what ich go rate.
So this is the cycle of preparing to have joy at death. And then next is the song is called Going for Refreshment and the beer drinking song. So apparently there was a time when Milarepa had beer.
Oh, Namo Gurus, Jisu Milarepa, Tini. Lachi dundu pokto shukdu mama yi chunchu chapo chungbe re chungba gojab chapo tseja dengenzi bebe ngantu shobe sande jitsu lan jebe ki so na so dombe songjan charpap choji shacha ngi namgo sene sutop chero sen menyan ki jo zengor khinde song so wadene rechung chablo tse chapo je di jitsu da shodi de sande chunchu mambo sa chungre sa jitsu sande so ron gor song do.
And so at that time, so they were Lapchi and Rajungpa stayed back in the cave, and then Milarepa then encountered some demons and ghosts, some spirits, and then he sang a song of realization to them.
Then the Lama Namla Surba, you want to so she were one yeda Niger, Jimmy Maso Lere. She Zamia took some combine, Simcha Yona, Sebaji, Shata Chala, Sando, Sotu Une, Shinto, Lunga Yeda Nansuji, Lenga Jibe, Namino, Teresa Madame, Tata Miba, Neri, not only Dorjee, Delayu, Junjuji, Goban, Dirty and Chetu Ninaga, Chancho Semji, Ningel, and Remamo Chuna, Tivega. But then they challenge to Cassie on a shadow Yamis, Tony Dorjee Dan show the rules. Or the Ninja Chancho Simpsons on the Casino here makes Chilan to Yang and on Lambota, Chilan to Lingas and Lunga to Land it is.
And so Milarepa said to those demons in his songs, no matter how many of you there are, you cannot harm you. You cannot take my life because I am my body is I'm sitting there like in the in kind of in the palace of emptiness, so you cannot harm me. I sit upon a virtual seat of emptiness. But how pitiful you are. And so he gave rise to great compassion for these demons.
Oh, xie zombe jisu seba dingen chu dingen zila nyambar shabe tarjen na thanre ma ngar ma chongwe de nam jedan homin jesu rongwa shinare ko kharan do usebe ngar chu kinan do usen dibi ke jor sons te jisu ngan de na yo sen go ngos domen jene cho son la ya lo de chungchu na so de la ma ni be rin nam tsaren dom sen chongwe jisu ke tukje chen bo ngon de zon sos 어제는 지수 추기된 게 쇼디다 수보춘다 조서다라 안에서 다 가란도 되게 세긴 디스 방타레티 추어서 사람도 오스텐 라레스 전에 지수가 나라 요스고 모스텐 한데서 시나치 초레스 드레스사 용디 되나 공부 방아서 초도시 전부 치고세 라레스 라브 지수 그된 거한테 나서스
And so at that time, then the Jetsun rested in a samadhi called the samadhi of the totality of water. So a kind of unceasing samadhi. And the demons couldn't see him. And so one of them asked, where did he go? And one of the other ones replied, he's sitting on the other side of the river there. And then the Jetsun appeared in person and said, here I am. The demons became frightened and ran away. And so then later they returned and they did all kinds of magic, but they couldn't touch Milarepa. And then finally the demon said, so let's make friends.
주번초 좀나 잡수서 내 상본 중미 이번 샤타세서 매잔 토리처바 토바이 롤라세바 매진 장조 남도 녀르지미 매게 딕파보나 상제된바 요바이 개와주보 드롬는 남에 담아 고마이 고섬 추바 신의 렌지티도 고부터 돈바 참수련 오건두만 참바인 돈바 참세 종는 예장제 순지바인 소타 지난 권초 좀나 kon jesan nasi sama çok şardele res re ma kon zo kin nog mares o jesan da chena zo kon jo zon jab son o da shata se so ban o tene roba asim cha no se so ban ne o da ne gewa ya bo drop top na gewa ya bo drop top o te chi tom na te la me da ma so kores o te domba so len na chena nga so chenpo charis domba to lanun o de domba zong nu na ngeke de jitu mereke je zigin zong do
and then in this song Milarepa said so all phenomenal existence arises as dharmakaya for me, so therefore you cannot harm me, but you should seek refuge in the three jewels and abandon harming others, taking their flesh and blood, and rather engage in virtuous action. If you do this, you have understood the key instruction. If you can make the commitment of holding the vows, then we all here can be good friends. If you can keep the vows of Samaya, then I shall accept you as my students.
어ත네 해송베 지수케 안토 잠반나 톨로 한데 남가 테네 안토 잠반 톨로 다 감바치 나마치 대제 주기 잠로 심치케 롱타 레준데 초이 군지 존이 탐벼프네 송오스 어ත네 한데서 베 지수게 마트도 아주 두보치반 톨로야스 제마 초나로 지 지수 킬로마치긴스 텔라브르데 잠로 심치케 롱다 레준데 초토이 데네 컨트롤케 탐자 신티안노 세메지 탐자푸
and then all these spirits confessed all their harmful actions, and they became his disciples, and Milarepa taught them refuge, bodhicitta, and karma, and then they offered their life force to Milarepa and vowed to keep their commitment, and then they left.
tene jesu jamru marwa tene jesu rechongbe jesu je rechongbalan danchi chidaba chongzongbe dala wase ngam demo chimbo chongzong da jesu semela je dibu se jorson ekola mapo la samshibin da nga nyamgabe luchu jorwa yin dibu po ba yin na to medeban nyamshin do to zong jesu jesu kulu chula jorne rechong dibu sebe jesu kongham dewa choros odra pas madon hana yana
And then the Jetsun asked Rajungba, what happened to you last night? While I was resting in a state of luminosity, a great vision came to me. Last night, while the Jetsun was in his bed, someone threw a stone at him. Did it hit his body? Last night, in a state of great joy, my body transformed into water. Perhaps the stone did hit me. My chest hurts. Take a look. The Jetsun again transformed his body into water, and Rajungba removed the stone. After this, the Jetsun felt much better.
Tagunan Ribeke, Mataran, Mepep, Hubende, Lela, Cheba Chawazon, and Gordon Sos, what I left in the Rentomojura, Chana Dorjee, Napon Tombojurati, the Lupo can do Urati, still Pepizon Sara, Mato Tata in a pigeon road of Macha, the Bentombojura. They no matter
So many other disciples. So then many disciples came to see Milarepa and said, and Milarepa said, let's go up to that high mountain standing before Lapchi for a little refreshment. And then the disciples said, your body is quite old. You will not be able to make it up the mountain. Please, you shouldn't go. So this particular mountain actually is supposedly a holy site of Vajrapani. So it's a very special place. And nowadays, actually, one cannot even go there anymore. It's impassable. So the cliffs are very rough and high, so it's impossible to get there nowadays.
Jugelune Roman, Hemborechu, Yola Show, Siezombi, Rengo Gochum, Jitu, Shabjaba, Yar Siento Lanson, Zeresela, Jabuke, Tabik Usishone, Arian, Pornepen, there is a changing Kenya Chons on the Dasana Lebe, Tabhu, and Chanchitan, the Centro, and Dama, the Darboms. What are you similar? Milarepa, the Centro, those Richinama, then Lupo Gates on Rotok, Richinamar. Go, she was a little go, she is. She shops like large sale pet. There is a Jauna show, then a sort for the Paris. There is a chanting catch on songs. Or the no matter on that is a left up, which is the chance that John Hugh. There is a Rona Damanta so good on door.
So then Milarepa thought it will be fine to go. He sang a song of realization. And he said, so the four elements of weakened and can't go. So inanimate mountain, lay yourself down. And as soon as he had said that, top of the mountain bent down. And the Jetsun got a foothold, and up he went to the top. And there he sat for a while in the center of some rainbow light. Then he took off and flew down to the students and said, someone brought beer to me up on the mountain peak. And then they asked, tell us, how can we also get up there? How can we get the beer? And to get to the mountain peak, you should meditate according to this instruction. Then he sang this song of realization.
Juna rime darji, China gendu darji, Zina jasu darjis, Tadaru womna tarbatop, Rese lemna demo da, Nyamyon chalan tongwai, Gande pomo nanto, demo domo, Sembarji, Garmi namla, Garmi namne, Chelaji, Chara tong da menudi, Simbo tongyang menuso, Chancho drop ta menu, Tori droba menu sams, Adamalo shan yang warsta.
And so he's saying, dear disciples, if you want to view from the mountain, to seize the luminosity of your own mind. To subdue it like a net. To bind it like an ensnaring knot. To hold it, take hold of it like a hook. Meditate like that to get to the peak of freedom. Then enjoy the view and drink the beer of experience. You qualified men and women now come within. Look and be satisfied by the view. Those unqualified who stay outside, if you're not able to drink the pure beer, can you not at least drink the weaker beer? If you cannot practice toward pure enlightenment, can you not at least attain the higher realms? So. And then Drupon said, I can practice toward enlightenment. Please allow me to drink the beer too. Well then, just as Marpa did, who was supremely kind, drank the beer like this. Then he sang this song of realization.
Marba Rajor Marbe Shabland, Pakunken Seni, Derade, Namka, Shinto Zeva, Nida Hinto Guna, and Damushin Sekin Tomami, Sanje Jerbo, Lodaba, Timito, Jantuko, Rigro Zobo, Manamji, Jita Donke, Dadon, Nimbo Mibe, Sonam, Simon Chanke, Yona, Okon Chanke, Zonen, Chanken Solo, Yizan, Gusum Toge, Jibuzo, Dombaniji, Sanant, Carbon Tibe, Neshelo, Chimba Nige, Chushelo, Lishe Chimbo, Meshebara. Maybe Chianto, Yambani, Jitu, Deva Chimbo, Darwin, Dama Tambi, Papida, Semi, Metuni, Tomorrow, Lomto, Dudizame, Nantolo, Tapini, Meba, Yenga, Antolo, Doyon, Jume, Tempungi, Sami Dutse, Chanzabe, Jula, Namba Heroga, Jalan, Chewing Heroga, Bola Bema Heroga, Drola Bajar Heroga, Trilla Naso Heroga, Rayla Gaby Heroga, Tanen Angel Chanshindo, Tambo Chuku, Zelania, Nipalonko, Zosanji, Sumpa Druku, Jayant, Junji may be a symbol, Gandanam, the Tonglin, can meet Namna, can meet Tunkan Tundomi, Yanjan Tongwe Bayin, Nyonzi Tabe, Champute, tuning on to Zainen. Something Lama Sanji Chu, Tabi Dambe and Ringbone, something on to go then, Jinko Lato, Nebarsi, Chontumoni, Singboat, Namnon to Jane, Rayan Gunje, Dobajo, Tan Zeba Choke, Chancho, Niju Tama, Chayan, Chantona, Devant, Rodan, Yangandi, Tedan Nejo, Chank, Tuno, Guna may be Chechuin, Tedan wants a Joba Mito, Yama wants a Meche arms. Milarepa Chang Tung Tan Reading of the Lord Hanayan, Milarepa Chang can do. On Chang one and Tung
La.
And Milarepa Chang Tung Tan Reading, though as they major some Milarepa Chang one and Tung was at some Josra. Tene, that has endorsed the Mother Lord Hana. What was the way?
So this is the song. And told it. So here's the song. He who has mastered essential reality, for whom primordial reality is without any break, at the feet of Marpa, the translator, I bow. The traits of my father are just like this. He is pure and clear, just like the sky, all-pervading like the sun and moon. Inseparable from me, he sits upon my crown. Humans are chief among the 6 types of beings. Every spring and every fall, they reap the harvest that's without any essence. Then they prepare their golden beer. Now let's brew a batch of beer and drink. So how is it that we brew this beer? On the hearthstone of body, speech, and mind, place the copper pot of emptiness. Into this, put the barley of pure and excellent faith, and pour the water of mindfulness and compassion. Stoke the fire of great wisdom, then cook till it's a mash free of center or edge. In the midst of the floor of equality, upon the cloth of great bliss, add the starter of the genuine instructions, then let it rest on the bed of the 4 immeasurables. It will ferment into a mash of many with one taste. Pour it into the clay pot of formative force, then brew it with inseparable means and wisdom. It is strengthened into beer after 5 wisdoms. From the tap of the source of all desires, the beer, the undefiled nectar, is filtered. The raw material, the cause, is the heruka of perfect purity. The other ingredients, the conditions, are the dharmadhatu heruka. The color is the Padma Heruka. The taste is the Vajra Heruka. The scent is the variety haruka. The sensation is the alluring haruka. Now, when this yogic beer is drunk, the first draft is Dharmakaya, clear and pure. The second is Sambhogakaya, the perfect Buddha. Third is Nirmanakaya, appearing as anything. The weaker beer of continual flow will be drunk down by the qualified ones. There is no worry that unqualified ones will drink. Here's another example of how to drink. The first portion of beer of pure experience that's brewed in the state of dharmata is offered to the Buddhas and Guru with 3 kindnesses. The middle portion of wisdom and means is enjoyed by the assembly of mandala deities, summoned through the state of samaya. The weaker beer of common and supreme siddhis, one's experience has been sustained, accomplishes the wishes of self and other. In the serving ladle with its 6 excellent traits is the beer of the pure whispered lineage. If you drink this beer, bliss will blaze forth. If you taste it, you will attain nirvana. This is the way to drink yogic beer. It has qualities that cannot be found anywhere else. This wonderful conduct is so amazing. Emma, is it not marvelous?
Then 000Songs, Holam to Niki Barcho, the Lupumo, Che 000Songs, Chomba, Chanlu or started in what?
So then the disciples all developed certainty, and this is the cycle of the beer drinking song and going for refreshment at the great cave of taming demons.
So
We stop here tonight.
Yeah, okay, maybe dedication there. Yeah, maybe this Lord Jikan is dedication.
Bernat is chase on your guess on Vernon.
More cheetah, more north at
Oh, dedication.
Forest Holy Venerable Conscious Kind Buddha Rinchen Dorjee Divine Assembly of Yidam, Assembly of Buddha, Bodhisattva, Yogi, Yogis, Yogis, and Bhaktinis dwelling in 10 directions, please hear my prayer. May the virtues reflected in the 3 times by myself and all sentient beings in samsara and nirvana, and the innate Buddha virtue that resides in the 80 yogi precepts, the 4 causes of samsara, all reverses Shri Ratna, all Prabhupada. May all other sentient beings, especially those enemies contained in their mind, obstructors who harm, misleading morals, and the fault of human, experience happiness, be separated from suffering, and swiftly attain unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious benefits. By the power of this vast Buddha virtue, may I benefit all beings through my body, speech, and mind. May the afflictions of desire, hatred, ignorance, arrogance, and jealousy not arise in my mind. May attachment to fame, reputation, wealth, honor, and concern for this life not arise for even a moment. May my mind stream be moistened by loving kindness, compassion, and Bodhisattva, and through that, may I become a spiritual master with good qualities equal to the infinity of space. May I gain the supreme attainment of Mahamudra in this very life. May the torment of suffering not arrive at the time of my death. May I not die with negative thoughts. May I not die confused by wrongdoing. May I not experience an untimely death. May I die joyfully and happily in the great luminosity of mind as such, and the parading character of God. May I in any case gain the supreme attainment of Mahamudra at the time of death or in the body.
다음 가서 저당 네 세는데 지나 쇼 제자다 17가 요로와 너와 제자다 17가 새로도 제자 17로 요르다 돌고 눈자로 산도와
라.
눈자 산도 산도와
같이도 좀 전.
전놈 제자 17로 요로와 다 눈자로 사요 다 야다 17로 사
되게 쉽지도 가.
실가 사다 다자 17가 사
So The whole text consists of 846 pages, and tonight we actually finished 700 as a 700th page. So we have 6 more pages left.
Yeah, thank you. Good night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ina.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.